Baltimore Ravens are back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens are back. Like the Buffalo Bills, obviously, there's going to come a game where this happens for every single team. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to go undefeated anymore. But this Baltimore Ravens team this is first quarter, 4 minutes into the game. Derrick Henry's going to go for 87 yards. Okay, normally that's third quarter, fourth quarter after your defense has already been worn down. If you let Derrick Henry get hot in the first quarter, in the first drive, it's going to be a long damn night. And that is exactly what took place for this Buffalo Bills defense. Derrick went crazy. Other running back went crazy. Lamar Jackson had some absurd throws. I mean, like beautiful throws in key moments on third downs. Had to put it in a spot. He absolutely did that. This Baltimore Ravens team looks phenomenal. Buffalo Bills take an L. So obviously people are going to start asking questions about them. Are they going to be able to withstand an offense? Is an offensive line going to be able to just move this Buffalo Bills defense? How's everything going to work out for the Bills whenever the games start to matter? And on the flip side, on this Overreaction Monday, people saying the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the entire NFL because the way they look, who they have, and how they play football. That's literally happening on these sports shows. Now, the Commanders have been doing something historic, okay? Vikings are bananas right now. But people see the Baltimore Ravens play like this, and they automatically go back before the season where it was like, wait a minute, if the Baltimore Ravens play good football, they're the team to beat in the AFC. Are we at that point now again with this Baltimore Ravens team?
I mean, I'm at that point. We were all shocked when they started 0-2. First game, Lamar, it kind of seemed like he wanted to take it into his own hands. And then John Harbaugh came out and said, hey, look, Derrick Henry's not going to get 30 carries a game. Last week, 25 carries, the most carries against Cowboys, the most carries for a running back in the Lamar Jackson era, and then you back it up with a run game like this. We all knew it. When you put Derrick Henry behind Patrick Ricard, and every big run this season, Patrick Ricard has been on the field. He was on the field here. Great trap block. The other one later in the field as well. Patrick Ricard is an absolute weapon. A lot of business decisions will be made when 42 is coming downhill. 300-pound fullback. And Derrick Henry, how is this dude still this strong, this fast, like pulling away from DBs? Like that is incredible.
His joints.
And then the defensive side of the ball, one of the best run defenses in the game. And then you got Van Noy, who's just been dominant. 3 games in a row, I believe now, with 2 sacks. This game kind of got to a point where it's like, okay, Buffalo can kind of come back 21-10, and then that trick play they decided to run, I believe, like 2nd and 6 maybe.
Right here where Kyle Van Noy actually has strip sack.
Too smart all over it. And then Kyle Hamilton, another phenomenal player right there in the ball. So Johnny on the spot per usual. But, yeah, this Ravens team's an absolute wagon right now.
Yeah, I think everybody's at the point where we're back to the high hopes of before the season started, where it's like, hey, only 2-2. We get it that there's other teams that probably have better records than them, but this is who we thought this Baltimore Ravens team could be. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, there were some stats here that came out from Hembo. Buffalo had gone 43 consecutive regular season games without losing by more than 6 points.
Jesus.
That was an NFL record. They'd gone 40. So even when they lost, it was heartbreak. At the very end, they obviously end that streak. Baltimore held Josh Allen without a touchdown for his first time since 2021, Week 9. That's 53 straight games.
Damn.
Jeez.
Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, Josh Allen had been an absolute dog. Baltimore defense doing their thing. Once again, we'll talk to Kyle Van Noy in about 2 hours or so. The Bills' offense versus the Ravens, they had 57 plays and only 4 10-plus yard plays. That is a 7% rate, which is the lowest by any team in any game this season. Wow. And that's with Josh Allen. That's with Josh Allen at the helm. And then the Ravens are the first team in the history of the NFL to outrush their opponent by 100-plus yards in each of their first 4 games of a season. So it's like, wait a minute. Hembo, thank you for those stats. Maybe the Ravens are back because they've been able to do something that nobody's been able to do. This Buffalo Bills team, will that continue? This Ravens team, I think, is now playing like the team everybody thought they were going to into this season. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I think they definitely found their stride here the last couple of weeks. Coming off of last year's game with the Chiefs, not running the ball enough, running game, getting established. It's so much easier to do that when you play from ahead and getting off to a good start like they did last night. And, of course, Derrick Henry, once he gets rolling, he's tough to stop. I think a little bit of Buffalo's situation got exposed last night, just their overall size and physicality. Trying to play nickel the whole way or most of the way. It's just tough against a big physical team like Baltimore. And as I've said before, Baltimore puts a lot of pressure on you because they're probably the biggest and most physical offensive line running team that there is, but they're also very, very fast with obviously Jackson, Zay Flowers, Aguilar, the receivers are very fast. So if you put too much size and not enough speed out there, you got problems. And if you put too much speed and not enough size out there, you got problems too. And Hill was a big signing for him, and last week or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. And he certainly is a great dimension to add along with Henry.
Okay, so let's talk about their run game a little bit more. Patrick Ricard, fullback, is seemingly the talk of the town for a lot of these highlights. All the long runs, he is bodying somebody. We've obviously been a big fan of his for multiple years because he's former D lineman, 280 pounds, 290 pounds. He's in there to just clear and wreck shop, but he can also catch the ball. Guy's pretty athletic, loves his job. That type of offense, the need of a good fullback is obviously there. What are your thoughts on Patrick Ricard? I mean, he just takes up 2 blockers right there in the hole for Derrick Henry. And why did anybody allow Derrick Henry and Patrick Ricard to be in the same backfield? That seems to be cheating, Coach.
Well, obviously there's no weight limit on that. So, so yeah, Richard was he's the key guy. And when we played them, we treated him as the point of attack. And the hard thing about that is he's at the point of attack, but it isn't always where he lines up. Now, when he lines up in the backfield, he obviously can go either way. But when they line him up in the wing or in kind of that offset fullback position, he can be at the point of attack, or he can come back across the ball on their counter plays. And so it's sort of hard to set your defense because you don't know where he's going to be. He builds that extra gap, and obviously he's a big guy when he gets matched up on the linebackers, which is usually who he's blocking. And so that extra gap that gets created in those 2-back sets is tough. You don't know where it's going to be. So defensively, we always try to get a big body at the point of attack where he was. And sometimes you didn't know that till after the snap. So our linebackers would, if you will, like rotate into those off-tackle holes to try to match, because most of the runs come behind him. And then every once in a while, Jackson will keep it and go the other way. You need somebody to take care of him on the backside. But, Richard's the point of attack blocker. And so that's a big problem. But if you start loading up too much there, you have those explosive players in the back end that can get you. Or you have no pass rush against Lamar because you set a bunch of big, slow guys in there trying to stop the run. And then he kills you with scrambles and sweeps and that kind of thing. So they're really a tough team to match up against.
Yeah, and they got Kyle Van Noy buzzing on the defensive side. Yeah. 6 sacks in 3 games, including a strip sack on a little trickery last night with Josh Allen. What a stud Van Noy is, Coach. What an absolute stud still in 2024, crushing right now.
Yeah, Kyle's a real instinctive player. He's a little bit of a combination of defensive end, outside linebacker. Could also play a little bit inside linebacker, but he's very aware, instinctive, and crafty out there, similar to Ninkovich, who we had for a long time, where they're not just an elite edge rusher, but they know how to rush. They're really good on games, they're really instinctive, could drop into coverage, and can do a lot of things, give you a lot of versatility on defense. And so Kyle's got a ton of experience. He's a really smart guy. It's hard to fool him on those kind of misdirection plays, bootlegs, reverses, things like that. He really does a good job of sniffing those out.
He'll be joining us in about an hour. Can't wait to talk to him and let him know that you said those things. I'm sure that'll make him feel very good on this Glorious Overreaction Monday.